Friction force. Friction comes from the Latin word fricare, which means to rub. Friction force appears when there is motion. When two elements slide against each other, then there is friction between them. Like when we rub our hands together, each hand is making a friction force on the other. Also, when we walk on the ground, there is friction between us and the ground. In this tutorial, we're going to see how the friction force is affecting the motion of the objects using this simple experiment in the following video. In this video, we have an egg-shaped toy. When we push it, it rolls fast because the friction force is low as a result of the ground being smooth. Now let's do the same but on a rough ground. We notice that it moves slowly and not for a long distance. Here the friction force is high. We repeat the same experiment one more time on a grass surface, which is so rough. We notice that the egg practically doesn't move when we push it. This is because the friction force is very high. So we can conclude from the three videos that the higher the friction, the slower the object. And if we have a rough surface, the friction is going to be high, and the smoother the surface is, the lower the friction is going to be. A friction force opposes motion. We see here a person that is moving in this direction, so the friction force will be in the opposite direction. We call the friction force a contact force, and it is drawn between the moving object and the surface.